Welcome to the California Department of Toxic Substances Control's training video on how to file the department's annual hazardous waste ID number verification questionnaire, also known as the eVQ, which stands for the Electronic Verification Questionnaire. The verification questionnaire is required by the California Health and Safety Code, Section 25205.16. It is conducted to verify the accuracy of the information associated with your ID number. If you are required to file the questionnaire, you must do so to maintain the active status of your ID number or numbers. In this video, I'm going to go over the following. First, the 2023 verification questionnaire filing requirements. Second, how to register for an eVQ account. Third, how to complete each of the 5 steps of the questionnaire. Lastly, how to avoid common mistakes. Let's start with the verification questionnaire basics. How do you know if you're required to file the 2023 verification questionnaire? The answer is, you or your company had a hazardous waste ID number that was active at any time during the previous fiscal year from July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, or you or your company shipped hazardous waste using an assigned hazardous waste ID number during the 2022 calendar year from January 1st through December 31st, 2022. If you fit either of these requirements, you will need to file the annual verification questionnaire. The annual verification questionnaire is due 30 days from when you receive the first email or paper notification from DTSC. Since notifications are staggered, the due dates will vary. Notifications begin around mid-July. Now, let's move on to how the verification questionnaire is filed. The questionnaire is filed electronically through the eVQ system at evq.dtsc.ca.gov. The eVQ system provides a fast and convenient way for you to file the questionnaire. Next, we will briefly go over how to register for an eVQ account. If this is your first time filing the verification questionnaire, you'll need to register an eVQ account. To do so, let's go to the eVQ homepage. Click on the blue icon which reads Register. On this screen, you'll complete a registration account profile. Enter your EPID number in this box. Your EPID number is 12 characters long and begins with a lettered prefix of CA. If you don't know your EPID number, refer to the notification that you received from DTSC, as the EPID number is listed on the notification. If you receive an error message after entering your EPID number, click on link number 1 below the video on how to resolve a respective error message. When your EPID number has been added successfully, you'll see it in this box here. If you have multiple EPID numbers that share the same Federal Employer Identification Number, or FEIN, you can add them in. If the ID numbers do not share the same FEIN, then you will need to register separate eVQ accounts for them. After your ID number and numbers have been added, scroll down and you'll see that some of the fields have been pre-populated based on the information that you had submitted when you applied for the EPID number. Complete all the required fields indicated by a red star. Make sure you create a username and password that meets the username and password requirements, as shown in this blue box. Also write down your username and password so you don't forget it. When all the required fields have been completed, click Submit eVQ Account Request. If your account is created successfully, you'll receive a confirmation message on the next screen, and an email confirmation will be sent to the primary contact's email address. To log into your account, go to the eVQ homepage at evq.dtsc.ca.gov. Then click the icon that reads Login. Enter your username and password. It is case sensitive. You'll see this menu here. The questionnaire is 5 steps long. If you need to make any changes to your username and/or password, you may do so by clicking on the user profile icon. Let's click on Step 1 to begin. In this step, you're verifying your general company information. FEIN stands for the Federal Employer Identification Number. If a FEIN appears in this section, it cannot be corrected. You'll have to contact the Business Operations Unit if the FEIN is incorrect. If there's no FEIN in this field, you can enter the FEIN associated with your company. The NAICS code stands for the North American Industry Classification System Code and is a required field. It is a 2 to 6 digit code that describes your business activity. If you don't know your NAICS code, you can visit naics.com or census.gov/NAICS. After you finish verifying the information, click Save and go to Step 2. In this step, you're verifying your company's mailing and owner information. You may make any changes if necessary. The company name and owner name fields are grayed out because they cannot be changed here. If you need to update one of these fields, please click on link number 2 below the video for more information. The owner type will also need to be selected from the drop-down box. Select the owner type that most accurately describes your business. For example, if the Department of Toxic Substances Control was the owner of an ID number, the owner type would be state. The owner type is required and you will not be able to move forward without a selection. After you have finished verifying the information, click Save and go to Step 3. In Step 3, you're verifying your EPID number or numbers that were active at any time from July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, and the hazardous waste manifests shipped under that respective ID number or numbers from the prior calendar year. Although the manifest counts are pre-populated in this step based on the manifest data from DTSC's records, you must verify the counts against your own records and make any corrections if necessary. For the purpose of this questionnaire, you're only reporting hazardous waste tracked on a uniform hazardous waste manifest, or manifest for short. A manifest is the shipping document that tracks your hazardous waste from the point of generation to the final treatment, storage, and disposal facility, TSDF. If you're not familiar with the form, click on the blue link here to see an example. For the manifest counts, you are reporting the number of manifests your company had during the 2022 calendar year, not the amount of waste on the manifest. Your manifest will fall into one of the following categories: recycled, non-recycled, and non-recycled air solvents. A manifest is counted as recycled when all the wastes listed on the manifest have been recycled. To determine if the hazardous waste on a manifest was recycled, look at box 19 of that respective uniform hazardous waste manifest. The disposal facility lists the hazardous waste report management method codes in box 19. The recycle codes are H010, H020, H039, H050, or H061. For the non-recycled manifests, the non-recycled codes are all the codes except the recycled codes. For air solvents, this count pertains to manifests used solely for hazardous waste derived from air-compliant solvents that is not recycled. You can find a list of certified clean air solvents on the South Coast Air Quality Management District's website. To view the manifest details, click on the respective ID number that you want to view. Since I'm using a fictitious EPID number, there aren't any details. If any manifests are missing from the list, correct the count to reflect your records. You can order the manifests by the ship date in ascending or descending order. You may add ID numbers that are missing from your account by clicking on the Add EPID button. Remember that only EPID numbers that share the same FEIN can be added to the account. You may remove ID numbers from your account by clicking the Remove button. However, before you do so, verify that you're not responsible for filing the ID number and that it does not belong to your account or to your company. Removing the ID number does not inactivate the ID number if it is currently active. It just removes it from your account. If you would like to inactivate an ID number, we'll go over that next. If your ID number is currently active, this will read Inactivate. To inactivate an ID number, click the Inactivate checkbox, then click the green Save Changes button. When you inactivate in the eVQ, the inactivate date is backdated to June 30th, 2023. If your company plans to continue operating or shipping hazardous waste using your assigned ID number after June 30th, 2023, do not select the Inactivate checkbox. and activate your ID number when your company ceases operating by submitting one of the appropriate forms. Please see link number 3 below this video for more information. If your ID number is currently inactive, this checkbox will read Reactivate. To reactivate an ID number, click the Reactivate checkbox, then click the green Save Changes button. Let's go over the green Save Changes button. If you make any changes to a record, you must click the green Save Changes button on that record so that the changes will be applied. A common mistake that users make is checking the Reactivate or Inactivate checkbox and not clicking on the green Save Changes button. Let me go ahead and add some numbers here. You can export the list of ID numbers with the manifest counts to an Excel spreadsheet by clicking on the Excel icon. The spreadsheet cannot be used to make edits to the questionnaire. The CDTFA G&H fee account number is the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration number, assigned for the generation and handling fees, and it applies to every person or business who generates 5 or more tons of hazardous waste at a site in California within a calendar year. If the CDTFA number does not pertain to you, leave this field blank. The CDTFA G&H fee account number entered here will be applied to all ID numbers listed in this step. Only use this field if your G&H fee account number is the same for all ID numbers in step 3. If you have more than one G&H fee account number for the ID numbers in step 3, click Cancel and add each number individually. When all the information is correct, click on Save and go to step 4. If you have left the CDTFA G&H fee account number field blank, this pop-up will come up. By clicking OK on the pop-up, you certify that you did not generate 5 or more tons of hazardous waste in the previous calendar year. If you need a CDTFA G&H fee account number, visit CDTFA's website or call 800-400-7115 for more information. In step 4, you're entering the total number of employees in your company or organization and confirming your manifest counts. The ID number verification fee and hazardous waste manifest fee will be calculated as a $0 fee because the department no longer collects this fee. Enter the total number of individuals employed by your company or organization throughout California during the 2022 calendar year. Include employees who worked 500 hours or more and employees that worked at locations that did not generate hazardous waste. For example, if your company has 5 locations and 10 employees at each location, your employee count would be 50. When the information has been verified, click on Save and go to Step 5. Step 5 is the Summary and Certification. Click on the Fee Summary button to review your fees. You'll see your EPID number verification fee first. Remember that this fee will appear as a $0 fee because DTSC no longer collects this fee. Then your hazardous waste manifest fee. Remember that this fee will appear as a $0 fee because DTSC no longer collects this fee. You'll certify under penalty of perjury that the information provided during the verification questionnaire is true and correct by entering your first and last name, then your title. You'll click Save and flag as completed. A pop-up will appear asking if you're sure you want to flag the eVQ as complete. If you need to edit information on a step, click Cancel, and you can go back to a step by clicking on the link to the step, which is in the upper left corner of the screen. Once submitted, you cannot edit your steps. We'll go ahead and click Save and flag as completed to file our questionnaire. The next screen says, "Congratulations, you have successfully filed your questionnaire." An email confirmation will be sent to the primary email address on the account. Since you have saved and flagged your verification questionnaire as completed, you'll no longer be able to edit steps 1 through 5. However, if you need access to any of the steps, contact 1-877-454-4012 to have a DTSC staff member reset the steps for you. This page provides the invoice and VQ summary. You may download and/or print your invoice and take the user survey. Since fees are no longer assessed in the eVQ, the payment information button will not appear. If you owe fees from a previous eVQ cycle, go to the eVQ homepage to find payment options. You may retain the invoice for your records, but please do not mail it to our office. A spreadsheet containing all your ID numbers and manifest counts for the 2023 cycle can be downloaded here. For the link to the eVQ user guide, you'll see a link on the bottom of the eVQ homepage. The link to the guide is also located on each step of the verification questionnaire. If you have any questions about the verification questionnaire, call us at 1-877-454-4012. Our telephone hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can also email us at evq@dtsc.ca.gov. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, the verification questionnaire is required by California regulations and must be completed to maintain the active status of your EPA ID number. It is important to complete it correctly. Thanks for watching.